right here with Wyatt Hendrickson, 125 kilogram for Team USA. Wyatt, if you talk about a wrestler being on a heater, right now I think of Wyatt Hendrickson. You win NCAA's undefeated Hodge Trophy, run through the Open, 2 straight at Final X. How important or how much of a factor can momentum be for a wrestler?
Going into a big tournament, momentum is huge because it's just keeping the ball rolling. I'm not trying to start pushing the ball, so to speak. So I've been wrestling pretty good, and I think at this point it's just staying consistent, because if I'm sitting here like, oh yeah, I've been winning and this stuff, that's when I'm going to start to, it's going to come back to me. So it's really, I just got to, we know that what I've been doing works. So if I can consistently do that, until the World Championships, which is I've been doing, that's the plan. That's all I can ask for.
Yeah, you said, I know what I'm doing works. What would you say if someone hadn't seen you wrestle? What do you do, Wyatt?
So I really just relax and wrestle. That's the basis of it, because I was actually thinking about this for the first time. I've been teaching camps, and I realized how much I don't think when I wrestle. I'm going out there and just doing it. And when I'm teaching kids, I'm like just doing it, and they're like, well, what'd you just do? I'm like, you know what? I don't really think I know. And even I haven't done, a lot of it's just been going through the motions and muscle memory. And we just had the training camp, the World Team Training Camp in Colorado Springs, and going through some of these moves that we were just finishing these shots, and I was like, man, I've actually never stopped in a long time and thought through stuff, because that muscle memory is just taken over. But the highest level, transitioning to freestyle, it's a lot different than folk style. So I gotta get rid of those old habits of, trying to not give up a takedown, stand to my feet. I'm gonna get 5. We've seen that before. So that was the next step, is, hey, let's actually slow down and think about it. And now, the hay's in the barn. Now we're just gonna keep getting that muscle memory. So by the time Worlds comes around, we're ready to go.
You make the world team, and there's a different level of emphasis around when you're the guy, right? How has that materialized for you? What have those conversations been like?
Yeah, it feels good, but at the end of the day, I have a style, and what's so great about all these camps is they're not trying to change who we are. They're not trying to change what we do, but they're like, hey, these are some situations where they know, the Coach Bill Zadek and Coach Joe Russell, they know what they're doing. They've been here a time or two. Yeah. And so having their level of expertise is a huge game changer, because it's a lot of situational things that we don't think about in folk style, or if we're not wrestling overseas. And so the best part of training camp was just getting really good insight on, hey, these are some situations that you've never felt before, that we want to make sure you feel that here now, so you're not in the World Championships like, well, I don't know what to do now. So it was a really big help, just being able to go to those situations that we don't usually run into in folk style or here against, our own competitors.
Did you watch the Olympics last year, your weight, 125?
I did.
What were your thoughts on that? Obviously, Gino Petriashvili is not expected to be there, but Amir Zare is the number 1 ranked guy in the world. Right?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that weight a year ago?
Yeah, I think most heavyweights they're big and powerful, and I don't think they utilize speed as much. That's going to be a key component when I wrestle them, is obviously I need to know how to work my way around a circle and, the underhook battle, but other than that, I think it's important to stay mobile, because that might be a weakness that I see. And those guys are, they're pretty close matches. It's a lot of upper body push-pull, but if I can kind of throw in a little bit of an American twist, so to speak, and, or maybe even a lightweight mix, because as we've seen, I don't like wrestling the normal heavyweight, here, big collar tie. I think a movement's going to be a big aspect of this, because I think that's an aspect at heavyweight that's not there right now.
Mentioning Zare, the underhook.
Yeah.
How it looks when you watch him, it's like, how do you avoid it? How do you get out of it? So many heavyweights they can't do anything about it. How do you neutralize an attack like that when you probably haven't felt that particular skill? Mm-hmm. Of course, guys have underhooked you, but to the level that he's at, how do you simulate that? How do you prepare for that?
Absolutely. So, like I mentioned, when I wrestle, it's really, I think it's important that I'm not thinking, I'm just wrestling. And so the past couple weeks or even past couple months, a big aspect we've been adding into our training is, hey, defending underhook. Not only as soon as they get underhook, but not letting somebody get underhook. So sometimes it sucks. I get very frustrated at times, but I want to feel the worst here. So when we start in practice, I'm completely completely underhooked and trying to fight out of it against really strong opponents we have in the practice room. So I'm really just trying to build that muscle memory, and it's working. It's working.
Awesome. How would you say your life's changed since you beat Gable Steveson?
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. I'm still the same guy I was before. I'm still just this little guy from Kansas, but now everyone just wants to take a picture with me, or so it's different. It's a little bit more busy, but I kind of like it. But it is nice to go back home in Stillwater and just be able to be myself again, hang out with the guys, because I'm still the same guy. So
The mustache factor on the international stage.
Oh, yeah.
Is that going to play a role?
Oh yeah. I think it's like in Thor when they took his hammer. I don't want them to take my hammer, so I'm not gonna shave the mustache. I'm keeping it. It's my secret weapon.
Nice. And you can't, with your training, there's like peaking. Can you peak your mustache too soon? Is that a possibility? Any concerns there?
If you can see right now, it's not completely like formed, because you're right. I don't want to, when it looks sharp, it's the first time I step on that stage. You guys are gonna be watching like, man, and Wyatt Hendrickson, oh my gosh, that mustache is intense. So that's a good point. I'm letting it kind of be free right now, but as soon as I step on the stage, you're gonna be like, okay, that looks nice.
Nice,
So.
almost a distraction.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's great. All right, on one hand, your match against Trent was amazing. But on the other hand, give up 14 points.
Yeah.
Makes us a little nervous.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts out of that match? Obviously, you did the job. The job was to win and make the team. But out of that, how do you meld your kind of gunslinging mentality with, like, if that's on the international stage, you may not be able to get 20 points. How do you kind of like juxtapose those two?
Absolutely. I think it's just me having a little too much fun. The coaches know that in some aspects it's good to have some fun and just, just have fun. But at the same time, there was some mistakes I made that you're right, if I made that mistake on the international stage, it might not, be so green at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just gonna be, and I think I'll know when to lock it in, but there's no excuse, but I like having fun, and Trent's still a great wrestler.
Yes.
The biggest thing is I kind of gave him some opportunities, and I mentioned some of those, bad habits I'm still transitioning from, because folk style's in the past, for good now, unfortunately. But I'm grateful. I had an extra year, it was awesome. But moving into the next couple of weeks is just, making sure I'm having good habits, staying in good positions, because it's a game of inches and ounces at this point. Like you said, I can't be giving up those small areas that are having a big outcomes. 4 or 5 points is a big swing of a match. And the good news is I just love attacking. And if I get scored on, I'm not like, oh my gosh, that sucks. I'm just like, hey, well, take down in the gut and I'm back in it. So my mentality is pretty good at that from that point of view. But like we said, I just can't be making mistakes.
Certainly. Okay. You had a lot of options after Air Force. You knew you couldn't take your final year there.
Uh-huh.
What made Oklahoma State the right fit, and what maybe about that decision has, when you made that decision, the staff was maybe a little different. How has that decision paid off for you?
Yeah. I like to just mention, I think most people know this at this point, but I wanted to quit wrestling at one point in life, in 8th grade, and the two wrestlers that really motivated me to keep going was David Taylor and Kyle Dake. So I remember training for Fargo in the basement, and I was like, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And then I was just like, my dad came down and he was like, yeah, well, whatever you decide, I love you. And I was like, just going on my phone, and I remember seeing a couple documentaries on Kyle Dake and David Taylor. And so I actually moved the flat screen TV into our little weight room so I could watch it while I was running on the treadmill. I'm like, well, might as well try to keep going. And in that moment, it was just kind of sparked that fire again. I was like, wow, like going through those guys' stories and hearing about it, it just kind of gave me that passion to get fired up again. And so having that big, moment in my life, whenever I got a call from Coach Taylor, and this was before, as soon as I saw it, it said David Taylor. Okay, I'm guessing he got the job.
Yeah.
And so getting a call from someone like that who's had such an impact on your wrestling career, it's just like one of those moments like, okay, like if this isn't a sign, I don't know what is. And Stillwater's close to home. That was the only college duels I really went and watched growing up, because it was, it's the closest Division I wrestling school to my house. And so growing up, going to the Oklahoma State duels, I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. And so it just kind of, when I got there, it just kind of felt like the right place.
I got to go to a couple duels. It felt like you were just instantly embraced as the guy. Like, you got the biggest pop when you came out, even though you were only there 1 year. Did you feel that too, that you were just
absolutely
instantly embraced?
I felt that the first time I showed up in Stillwater. The community there is just like, you can't buy that. Like, you can't, there's no amount of money you can pay to like have such a community that's so involved in wrestling. And I mean, even before people who knew anything, I mean, a lot of people know wrestling, but they didn't know who I was. Just showing up at gas stations like, oh, hey man, like, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm good, what's up? Like in Colorado, we don't do that, you know? Yeah. Everyone's all focused on their own day, but the atmosphere in Stillwater is just something different. And so everyone's family when you show up, and especially those duels, like everyone treats you the same way. They act as if they've known me my whole life, and that was awesome because like everyone there, the crowd, everyone was just so excited every single time I wrestled as if I've been wrestling there my whole entire college career.
You probably had a picture of what it would be like to be coached by David Taylor before. How has that picture changed, or what maybe surprised you about how David approaches the sport or approaches coaching you that people may not realize?
I like this. You mentioned how sometimes I let some points get scored on me. Coach Taylor very much likes it when you're wrestling a smart match. I'm calm, I'm wrestling smart, and sometimes that doesn't happen. As we've seen, I get kind of thrown and tossed, and I like to say that I like that Lee Roper's also in my corner because Coach Taylor is just like, oh gosh, like he just got scored on, what we do? And Coach Roper's just like, just relax, he's got time, he's gonna score again. And so it's like that perfect balance in the corner. But I mean, Coach Taylor's passionate all the time, and I see himself putting himself in my shoes or whoever he's coaching, because when I watch him coach, I can see what he's doing. He's thinking through the process of like, hey, like what would I do in that situation? And a big thing for me this year is wrestling Coach Taylor. I understand that feel, so we have similar styles, I like to say. Just after I've wrestled him, I understand, oh, that's what it feels like. So I try to emulate that. And so Coach sees himself wrestling out there in my shoes and he gives that good aspect because I don't hear when I wrestle. I'm not really paying attention, but as soon as I walk back to the center, that's when I look to the corner, and that's when he's like, well, yeah, hey, when you're in that position again, this is what I want you to do. So just those small key things in between, small breaks.
Absolutely. It's kind of a new crop of wrestlers for Team USA. What's the vibe? What's the confidence level among the team? You're one of the I think 7 first-time world team members. What would you say the energy is like?
It's all excitement because, like you said, for 7 of us, this is our first time. And rather than like, oh, it's just another go around, it's like, hey, this is our debut. This is our first time to step on the world stage and, do something huge. So I think we're all excited because it's like, hey, this is an exciting time. And we're just happy. It's all smiles, and especially at training camp, like everyone's so eager and excited to get better because we always talk about moments like this. Like even when I was a kid, like, oh yeah, representing USA on the senior stage and all that stuff, and it's all talk, but now it's like, hey, we're here. We've worked very hard to get here, and so we don't want to let this opportunity pass. We don't want to have any regrets, I can tell you that. And I've seen the rest of the team training, and I know that we're going to step out there on the world stage and have no regrets, whether we win or lose.
Yeah. What does it mean for you specifically, personally, to wear the USA singlet? It's something you've done in the past, at age level, but now at the senior level. What does that mean to you?
Oh, man, it's just thinking back to the first thing that comes to my mind is I've always been patriotic, but it's just I remember when I completely almost passed up the military opportunity because I just didn't know about it. And it's just I take pride in serving the best country in the world, and just being able to actually do this in wrestling as well. And this is technically still a uniform. I'm still repping that American flag, so it's just special because I love serving, and this is the best way I can do this is going out there and the USA had so much support, and so like, hey, like I'm not taking that for granted. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna put my best foot forward and wrestle the best match I can because at the end of the day, we're all family here, and it's important that I represent us well.
Yeah. Do you have a message for your potential competition at Worlds?
Be ready. Be ready. I mean, sometimes it's easy, like, oh, this is the guy's first time, but that's good. Sometimes it can help you, but sometimes it's against you because you don't know what it's going to feel like. But I think it's easy to maybe overlook me sometimes, but if you do, you're going to regret you did.
Yeah, I think Tyler.
Sing any karaoke lately?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, a couple times.
What's your song?
I've got a couple, but the most recent one, it was, I'm never gonna dance again.
Careless Whisper?
That's a great song.
I like humming it too. Ooh, We're playing music, but we're going to switch to karaoke here in a little bit. So.
Let's go. That's a good team bonding thing.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you for your time, Wyatt.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.